I feel an awful lot about the church because being here so long, lots of things happen. You feel comfortable in this church. Everything that's happened to me in my life revolves around the church.
It's very important to us to keep the church open, and having a system simply enables us to do that in a non-obtrusive kind of way.
This building is tremendously important for the people of Newton Heath. They might not come to church every Sunday, but for them it's really important to know that their church in their part of Manchester is being looked after by others on their behalf.
When lead is taken, it's not always spotted from down below. And so the way we find out is when water comes in inside church, which could take a while to come in, and often it rots the timbers. So we have to get timber experts in, and then obviously the painting has to be done. And you can't just paint one little patch because it'd look odd, so they have to paint the whole area.
I think amongst those who choose to lead that way of life, churches are fair game. They are covered with precious metals, they are seen as targets for theft.
I feel sorry for them because the amount they get for the theft, maximum £20, and yet that can cause thousands of pounds worth of damage.
When lead is taken from the roofs of buildings like this, it has a very deleterious effect on the entire fabric. You can probably see that large parts of the wall are bare of plaster because a military work has had to be done because of the problems caused by the rain seeping in through the roof, down through the timbers and causing plaster to fragment and fall off. And you'll see also the vaulting that we've had to replace with lath and plaster, because the absence of lead protection has caused the rain to come through and caused the roof to disintegrate through dry rot.
I mean, certainly we've had a lead downpipe stolen from St Catherine's. It's on the street, which means that people walking along the street, until that gutter is replaced, will be splashed with rainwater. We have to replace it with lead as it's a listed building.
I'd just like them to see that actually the consequences of their theft aren't immediate, but actually rather more chronic. The problem of the theft of the lead from the roof wasn't a major problem for maybe a winter or 2 winters later, when the rainwater seeped right the way through the stone and through the timber fabrics.
Nothing has replaced lead for how many years? Thousands of years, I think. It's more pliable. But unfortunately, if you replace it with lead, it gets stolen again.
As soon as areas like the roof are targeted, it's like the sort of the broken windows policy, I think, in New York. I think it just simply causes people to have a go at other areas. Just to the west of the chancel, some thieves got in a few years back. They smashed the window and came into the church, smashed down the door into the vestries, completely upended everything in the vestry, because the church was seen as being vulnerable because it had had its lead taken.
We found the remnants of some of the lead left behind where they've thrown it off the roof, but not had time to collect it up. And that's when we knew, because you can't see from below all the lead.
We've had enough of this. Come and have a go at us if you like, but you must be prepared to take the consequences. I think, turning the other cheek is often really unhelpfully used as an example of being Christian and accepting the punishment that's doled out to one.
The best way is for them not to take the lead off, which is hopefully what the alarm system on the roof will do, which we welcome.
The most recent theft of lead here cost us £69,000, which was generously paid for by the Restoration Committee. We have a separate committee with a separate account to restore the fabric, but before we could begin to restore the original, commenced the schedule, we had to literally put the roof back on the church. So for an area like this, where means are modest, £70,000 is an absolutely enormous sum of money.
So if we have ways open to us to protect that lead, which are relatively low cost, actually it balances out quite well. The costs of putting the necessary measures in to replace, to protect the lead, the security and integrity of the church's lead are relatively inexpensive compared to what one has to do in terms of time, effort and sheer money to replace that metal if it's nicked.
The alarm went off last Saturday. All I saw was a damaged slate at the back that looked as though they'd gone on in a particular place, where I've known in the past that's where they got on.
I think it would make our task enormously more difficult if we didn't have the foresight to secure these kind of security provisions, yes. We just have to be very wise, we have to be savvy.
Why are you paying over £10,000 out on one claim when the alarm system can be put in for, say, 5,000?
The alarm system, off the top of my head, is less than 1/10 of the cost, the capital cost of replacing the lead that was stolen.
It's cheaper to pay for the alarm system than it is to keep on paying out every time.
It just seemed good stewardship, really, that we did all we could to prevent thefts like this occurring in the future. And through the good offices of our architect, we managed to incorporate it as part of our Phase 4 of restoration here. It's my hope that we will have all the plasterwork restored. We will have the area under the tower restored for use as maybe an office or possibly a kind of library. We have the bicentenary of this building in 2015-2016, and I would expect this building to be used once more as the hub of the community in the absence really now of any other community buildings in this area.
We get on extremely well with the company that supplied us with the equipment. Service issues have been dealt with promptly. Found all the staff who installed the equipment incredibly friendly and good-humoured, and just pleasant to have around the place. Found the whole process of installation and setup really, really very positive. It's really worked incredibly well for us, and I would wholeheartedly recommend it, and be willing to talk to anybody about the whys and wherefores and the practicalities.
As it ever was, we've got very precious notions, I think, about what churches are. This is a community building that happens to be resourced day by day by the faithful, the widows that put in their mite Sunday by Sunday, for the greater glory of God, but also to serve the people of Newton Heath. That's our commission, we're here to serve.